Malaysia urges Rohingya issue to be resolved quickly. 6 committees to investigate punitive reprimands in AG report. Hello there, very good evening. You're watching News on 2. I'm Harjit Singh Halan. Malaysia has urged Aung San Suu Kyi to exercise her international influence to expedite proactive decision to stop ongoing violence against Rohingya ethnic in Myanmar. Deputy Prime Minister Dato Sri Dr. Ahmad Zahid Hamidi said apart from the government, the people of Malaysia are saddened by the ongoing violence. Speaking at his office in Putrajaya, Dato Sri Dr. Ahmad Zahid said Malaysia wants the Rohingya violence be solved as soon as possible, but not with the use of military.
Ini adalah sebagai satu usaha oleh kerajaan Malaysia dan rakyat Malaysia untuk tidak campur tangan permasalahan negara itu, tetapi jika mereka berada di negara ini di bawah perlindungan UNHCR, maka kita akan meletakkan soal keprimanusiaan di depan dan kita mahu masalah di Myanmar itu dapat diselesaikan.
Dato Sri Dr. Ahmad Zahid stressed that Malaysia, under the spirit of ASEAN, will never indulge into Myanmar's internal administration. However, he said Kuala Lumpur wants the international community to solve the humanitarian issue in Myanmar as soon as possible. In the spirit of ASEAN, Dato Sri Dr. Ahmad Zahid said the Malaysian cabinet is taking its own efforts to help the ethnic Rohingya under UNHCR in the country. Meanwhile, Dato Sri Dr. Ahmad Zahid said the cabinet has approved the issuance of birth certificates to Rohingya children born in Malaysia. However, he said the certificate cannot be used to apply for permanent residentship in the country.
Rekod kelahiran ini bukan, sekali lagi, bukan sijil kelahiran atau bukan surat beranak, tetapi untuk merekodkan kelahiran saja dan tidak mengizinkan untuk mereka secara automatik menjadi penduduk tetap ataupun warga negara.
The issuance of the birth certificate is to provide the opportunity for Rohingya children to enroll themselves to pursue education according to Myanmar's education syllabus at schools run by UNHCR and the International Organization of Migrants, IMO. On another note, Dato Sri Dr. Ahmad Zahid said Malaysia has fixed the date for the special convention to overcome issues of Rohingya in Kuala Lumpur and will announce the date soon. In a related development, Defence Minister Dato Sri Hishamuddin Tun Hussein said that he is in the opinion that the ASEAN way approach will be taken on the issue of violence on the ethnic Rohingya in Myanmar. He said ASEAN member countries will not indulge into the administration and the internal affairs of other ASEAN countries. However, Dato Sri Hishamuddin, referring to his meeting with Myanmar Defence Minister in Laos recently, said he hoped efforts would be taken by the government of Myanmar to solve the violence.
Saya semalam maklum bahawa China telah pun menawarkan diri untuk bantu sekiranya perlu.
Meanwhile, Youth and Sports Minister Khairi Jamaluddin in a Twitter post said that Malaysia is considering pulling out of the AFF Suzuki Cup co-hosted by Myanmar in protest over Myanmar's crackdown on ethnic Rohingya Muslims. It came in response to a call by Perlis Mufti Dr. Muhammad Asri Zainul Abidin for Malaysia to pull out of the tournament in a solidarity move against the ruling military junta. The cabinet is expected to meet on Friday to decide on the matter. Malaysia is scheduled to meet Myanmar on Saturday in their third game in Group B. The tournament is co-hosted with the Philippines. The government has set up 6 special investigation committees to investigate 10 punitive reprimands involving misappropriation, power abuse, misconduct or willful neglect at 6 ministries. The punitive reprimands are contained in the Auditor General's Report 2015, Series 2. Chief Secretary to the government, Tan Sri Dr. Ali Hamza, cited the 6 ministries as the Home Ministry, Higher Education Ministry, Works Ministry, Agriculture and Agro-Based Industry Ministry, Energy, Green Technology and Water Ministry, and the Prime Minister's Department.
Penyelarasan dan penelitian susulan telah diadakan bersama Jabatan Audit Negara, Kementerian Keuangan, Suruhanjaya Pencegahan Rasuah Malaysia, Penasihat Undang-Undang Jabatan Perkhidmatan Awam dan disahkan tiada kes terhadap teguran tersebut.
He said this at a media session on the second series of the AG report in Putrajaya today. Defence Minister Dato Sri Hishamuddin Tun Hussein says the ASEAN Wasatiyah Conference, or OAC, is an important platform to find a united resolution using the concept of Wasatiyah in addressing the growing threat of militancy in the region. He said the conference should also deliberate on countering the negative narrative towards issues related to religious extremism.
Kalau kita dekat Malaysia ni pun nak berhadapan dengan kepelbagaian bukan satu perkara yang mudah. Bayangkan kepelbagaian yang wujud di dalam ASEAN. Ini tak termasuk lagi pertimbangan geopolitik, kuasa-kuasa besar di Laut Cina Selatan, kedudukan di Myanmar dengan the Rohingyas, the situation in southern Philippines.
Dato Sri Hishamuddin said this to reporters after opening AWAC 2016 at Wisma Perwira ATM in Kuala Lumpur today. He insisted that one could no longer stand idle but must distinguish oneself from those propagating a heinous understanding of Islam. Dato Sri Hishamuddin also said that the three key society groups that could determine the success or failure of the Wasatiyah initiative to counter the threat of extremism were educators, the media and civil society. The two-day conference has drawn 275 participants, among them military officers from ASEAN countries, as well as public and enforcement agencies. Beginning next year, the Social Welfare Department, JKM, will implement its pioneer project called Transit Home. Women, Family and Community Development Minister Dato Sri Rohani Abdul Karim said Transit Home is to place those under JKM Care Centre who are 18 years and above. Dato Sri Rohani said for a start, the transit home will be set up in Kuala Lumpur, Malacca and Perlis. She said the time limit for those at the transit home will be between 6 months to 1 year before they get a job or further their studies at public institutions of higher learning or colleges.
Turn into some of my rumah kanak-kanak tu into also transit. So they can stay longer. Dia tak jauh lah juga, and then sampai dia mungkin dia masuk universiti ke apa nanti.
Dato Sri Rohani said while staying at the transit home, they will be exposed to various entrepreneurship programs to enable them to run suitable businesses. She said this to reporters after launching the Deinstitutionalization of Children Conference in Kuala Lumpur. A woman pleaded not guilty in the Ipoh Sessions Court today to 4 counts of trafficking of 4 Thai women for sexual exploitation. Park So Quinn, 59, who works at a kindergarten, was charged with committing the offence at Luck Hotel and a reflexology centre, both at Jalan CM Yusof Ipoh, between March and August this year. Park, a mother of 2, was charged with trafficking Suwana Changkam, Dungjai Kaniknok, Chinda Ponsianok and Natanicha Jaimun for the purpose of sexual exploitation. The charge under Section 12 of the Anti-Trafficking in Persons and Anti-Smuggling of Migrants Act, or ATIPSOM 2007, carries a sentence of imprisonment for up to 15 years and is liable to be fined if found guilty. Judge Ikmal Hishan Muhammad Tajuddin allowed the accused a bail of 20,000 ringgit in one surety for all the charges. The court set December 7th for case mention. A policewoman charged with intentionally concealing terrorism-related information from the authorities will know of her fate on December the 6th. Judicial Commissioner Dato Nordin Hassan said the date after both the prosecution and defence filed their written submissions at the Kuala Lumpur Criminal High Court today. Corporal Jasninawati Abdul Ghani, 35, who is based at the Petaling Jaya Police Headquarters, is alleged to have intentionally omitted the information regarding a terrorist act. She is accused of committing the offence between August 2015 and March 2016. Corporal Jasninawati is charged under Section 130M of the Penal Code, which carries a maximum imprisonment of 7 years or a fine or both on conviction. The prosecution was represented by Deputy Public Prosecutor Azlina Razdi, while counsel Nick Zarith and Nick Mustafa represented the accused. A plantation labourer was today charged at the Gua Musang Magistrates Court for the murder of his neighbour early this month. No plea was recorded from Hafizu Muhammad Hanafi after the charge was read before Magistrate Muhammad Faiz Omar. The accused, aged 34, was charged to have murdered his neighbour Rojali Muslim, 30, by the roadside of Jalan Aring, Kuala Brang at 4 a.m. on November 11th. Hafizu was charged under Section 302 of the Penal Code, read together with Section 34 of the same Act, and if convicted can be sentenced to death. Magistrate Muhammad Faiz fixed January 11th next year for the case to be re-mentioned while waiting for forensic report to be completed. The court did not offer any bail to the accused. Meanwhile, another 4 suspects detained to assist investigations were set free with 2,000 ringgit bail each. In the November 11th incident, the victim, Rojali Muslim, who was badly beaten, died while on his way to a nearby clinic. A lorry driver and his attendant were injured in a collision between their vehicle and a tour bus northbound at kilometer 238.2 of the North-South Expressway Plus near the Changkat Jering Kuala Kangsar Perak exit. Kuala Kangsar Fire and Rescue Operations Chief Abdul Aziz Muhammad Noor confirmed the incident that occurred at 7:45 this morning. The lorry laden with animal feed skidded and overturned when the tour bus carrying 29 passengers from Genting Highlands to Pulau Pinang collided with it. The lorry attendant, an Nembalis, fractured his leg when he was thrown out of the vehicle upon impact of the collision. Meanwhile, all passengers in the tour bus were unhurt. The injured were sent to the Kuala Kangsar Hospital for further treatment. Coming up next, Class 1 motorists to enjoy 10% rebate at 9 toll plazas. Welcome back. All Class 1 motorists will enjoy a 10% rebate from November 30th to January 31st next year when they use electronic toll payments at 9 toll plazas in the northern region of the country. They include toll plazas in Hutan Kampung, Alustar Utara, Alustar Selatan, Pendang, Gurun, Sungai Petani Utara, and Sungai Petani Selatan in Kedah, plus Bertam and Sungai Dua in Pulau Pinang. All transactions will be fully electronic at the 9 toll plazas using either the Touch and Go, Smart Tag or Plus Miles cards from 12 noon on November 30th.
Masa transaction dan kita bagaimana kita dapat mengurangkan kesesakan tu bergantung kepada penerimaan masyarakat setempat di kawasan plaza tu terletaklah. Kalau memang ramai pakai Smart Tag terus, kalau maybe kalau dah 100%, so 100% Smart Tag kita boleh reduce by 50%, maybe more than that, maybe won't.
With the implementation of the electronic system, the reload lanes will operate 24 hours and all cash lanes will be discontinued. Johor recorded the highest investments in the nation's manufacturing sector with over 17.992 billion ringgit from January to September this year. 8.56 billion of that amount was from foreign direct investments and 9.4 billion was from direct domestic investments. In his reply to a supplementary question from Gambir Assemblyman M. Asujan during the State Assembly sitting, Johor Menteri Besar Datuk Muhammad Khalid Nordin explained that according to the Ministry of International Trade and Industries figures, Johor recorded the highest number of investments, followed by Selangor and Pulau Pinang.
Dengan angka itu, Johor jauh meninggalkan negeri-negeri yang lain. Negeri yang kedua mendapat pelaburan ialah berjumlah 3.8 juta banding dengan kita 17.9 bilion. 3.8 bilion ialah negeri Selangor. Dan negeri ketiga 3.7 bilion negeri Pulau Pinang. Jadi kita jauh tinggalkan.
Datuk Muhammad Khalid, who is also the Permas Assemblyman, also informed the Assembly that 126 specific measures will be undertaken to ensure that Johor continues to succeed in the next year. Terengganu has allocated more than 2.6 million ringgit to build the Elephant Deterrent Electric Fence Systems, or SPEG, in Sitiu since 2014. SPEG is an initiative of the state government to deal with wild elephants' menace that destroys agricultural crops, especially in the Sitiu district. According to the State Agriculture, Agro-Based Industry, Plantation Industries and Commodities Exco, Dr. Muhammad Pehmi Yusof, the Wildlife and National Parks Department, Perhilitan, recorded 30 elephants that frequently intrude the farms. The SPEG system is constructed along 2 levels in Kampung Pelung and Kampung Payung, Chaluk Barat. An annual allocation of 200,000 ringgit is required to maintain the fence system.
Cuma pagar ini memerlukan maintenance ataupun penyelenggaraan dari masa ke semasa kerana dia berada di dalam hutan dan dalam jarak yang terlampau panjang. Okay, dan ini juga kita perlu kerjasama daripada masyarakat setempat untuk membuat report kepada kita.
Datuk Muhammad Pehmi was speaking on the sidelines of the State Assembly sitting after replying to questions raised by Langkap Assemblyman Datuk Muhammad Nur Sabri. Given the importance of education in developing the nation's human capital, Rimbun Capital Sendirian Berhad has geared its corporate social responsibility towards helping primary school students through the Rimbun Education Program, REP. REP's main objective is to help underprivileged students excel academically, particularly in English, Bahasa Malaysia and mathematics. According to Rimbun Capital Principal Manager Dato' Ravindra Kumar Nathan, a total of 150 students from 6 primary schools in the Klang Valley have participated in the program from March to November.
We want to make sure that there is a play environment, an informal environment, where along the play and whatever they're doing, they're also learning, right? And so hence we do Scrabbles and Monopoly and role play, and things that the students enjoy doing. But at the same time, they're learning keywords, they're learning basics of multiplication, addition, division, and so forth. So that is the concept of why we wanted to provide Rimbun Education Program.
Dato' Ravindra was addressing the media after closing the Rimbun Education Program in SJKT Vivekananda in Brickfields, Kuala Lumpur. Still ahead, Australian teen cleared from carrying drugs in Bali. Australian teenager Jamie Murphy was cleared of drug charges today after Bali's police chief confirmed the white powder allegedly discovered on the teen was not an illicit drug. Police Chief Sugeng Priyanto said the powder, as well as blood and urine tests on the 18-year-old, had come back negative for drugs. Murphy was allegedly found with a small plastic bag of white powder by security staff at a nightclub in the entertainment precinct of Kuta early Tuesday. According to Priyanto, he did not have details of what the white substance was, adding that Murphy from Perth would soon be released because no crime was committed. Desi Viantari, a lawyer representing the 18-year-old, also remained hopeful he would be released soon. Police had initially believed that the package of white powder was cocaine or heroin. However, sources said the substance was a mixture of painkillers, cough medicine and other substances. A male suspect died and 2 customers suffered non-life-threatening injuries during an attempted hold-up at a fast food restaurant in the U.S. state of Texas. The incident happened on Tuesday evening at a Raising Cane's Chicken Strips restaurant in the Houston suburb of Shenandoah.
While an off-duty deputy was working at the restaurant, there was an exchange or there was a gunfire at the location. Right now we do have a deceased male, the reported actor, at the location. There's 2 other individuals injured at the location. They've been transported to a local hospital.
No identities have been released. Late-season storm Otto strengthened into a hurricane on Tuesday as civil defense officials in Panama reported 3 deaths amid heavy rain. A landslide just west of Panama City trapped 9 people whilst 7 were rescued. However, 2 of the victims were pulled from the mud den. In the capital of Panama City, a child was killed when a tree fell on a car outside a school. The U.S. National Hurricane Center said Otto was likely to gain strength as it headed for an expected Thursday afternoon landfall around the Nicaragua-Costa Rica border. It could become the first hurricane to make landfall in Costa Rica since reliable record-keeping began in 1851. Moving on to some news on the entertainment scene. The New Kids on the Block will hit the road again in 2017 with a familiar touring partner and a new one. Boyz II Men will be joining them, as well as Paula Abdul. Speaking during a recent press day for the tour, the group said fans will get an up-close and personal view of the acts on tour with a totally redesigned stage that allows for maximum views on the artists and special fan access. The tour marks Abdul's highly anticipated return to the stage for her first tour in 25 years.
It's incredible. It's incredible to be invited, and it wasn't hard for me to say yes, because I really love and admire and appreciate all of their talents, and we get along and we like each other, and I've been itching to do this. I missed it, and it's perfect time.
Produced by Live Nation, the 40-plus top tour begins on July 8th. Coming up in sports, defensive Tigers undone by second-half goal. Stay with us. A brief lapse in concentration against Vietnam led to the Malaysian Tigers losing 1-0 to the Golden Stars in their second Group B AFF Cup game held in Yangon, Myanmar. The Malaysian boys under coach Dato' Ong Kim Swee had their heads held high after beating Cambodia 3-2 in their opening match at the Thuana Stadium on Sunday. Before today's encounter, Vietnam had beaten Myanmar 2-1. Brimming with confidence, Malaysia, however, failed to adjust to today's conditions, similar to the game against Cambodia. The Vietnam players were also seen struggling to acclimatize to the weather as both teams remained scoreless coming into the interval. However, a brief lapse in concentration in the 79th minute saw them concede a goal by midfielder Nguyen Trong Hoang. Malaysia now faces a tough time having to ensure a win against co-hosts Myanmar in their last group match on Saturday. For Vietnam, they now have a good chance of finishing the group stage with a perfect record, having beaten Myanmar and Malaysia, and with qualifications winner Cambodia to play in their last group match. Toronto FC notched 2 crucial away goals but could not topple Montreal Impact as they fell 3-2 to their Canadian rivals in Leg 1 of the Eastern Conference Final in Major League Soccer on Tuesday in Montreal, Quebec. The match started a half-hour late due to the penalty box needing to be repainted. The Impact was unaffected as they started off in big fashion, and Dominic Oduro gave the home side a 1-0 lead in the 10th minute. Matteo Mancosu would be next and doubled the lead just minutes later. The dent in the Toronto armour only deepened when Ambroise Oyongo picked the ball up at the halfway line, went unchallenged and netted a triple-goal lead over the Canadian neighbours. Yet Josie Altidore would have his influence in when the American powerhouse would be wide open in the box to head in a chip and lead the Toronto comeback. The 27-year-old then kicked off the offensive with his physical play in the box, setting up national teammate Michael Bradley to sink the ball into the back corner to bring life to Toronto's MLS Cup final hopes as they snagged 2 coveted away goals. Montreal and Toronto will go head-to-head in the decisive second leg on November 30th. In another MLS match, Seattle Sounders FC came from behind to spur a 2-1 scoreline against Colorado Rapids in the first leg of their Western Conference Championship in Seattle, Washington, Tuesday night. Colorado started strong and saw their high tempo rewarded when Kevin Doyle's shot took a lucky deflection and landed in the back of the net. Yet Jordan Morris would draw level in the 19th minute after receiving a pass from Uruguayan Nicolas Lodeiro. A foul was then committed by Colorado defender Mark Birch in the box in the second half, which was easily taken by Lodeiro from the spot. The 2016 MLS Newcomer of the Year sent Seattle's keeper Zach McMath diving the other way as the side picked up the winning goal. The two sides will next face off in Colorado in the decisive second leg on November 27th to vie for a spot in the MLS Cup final. Lionel Messi is likely to line up alongside his Barcelona teammates for their Champions League Group C clash against Celtic later Wednesday after taking part in Tuesday's training session in Glasgow. The Argentine forward missed last weekend's scholars game against Malaga due to illness, but it is ready to return to the lineup alongside Luis Suarez, who was also absent on Saturday due to suspension. Messi registered hat-tricks in earlier Group C games against Celtic and Manchester City and has now scored 90 Champions League goals in his career, including 7 3-goal hauls in total. Defender Gerard Pique, who picked up a knock in Malaga, also trained freely with his teammates at Celtic Park on Tuesday. The defeat at Manchester City earlier this month means Barcelona have yet to seal their place in the round of 16, but they could achieve that goal with a match to spare. Currently on 9 points in Group C, Barca would advance with a win on Wednesday, while a draw would most likely be enough considering their vastly superior goal difference. Meanwhile, all of Celtic's key players were present at training on Tuesday after being given extra time to recover after Friday night's 1-0 win over Kilmarnock on the Scottish Premier League. Coach Brendan Rodgers will hope that the extra recuperation will pay dividends for Wednesday night's Champions League game against Barcelona. Celtic must win if they are to keep their slim hopes of reaching the knockout stage alive, as they currently sit bottom of Group C with 2 points from 4 games. They beat Barca 2-1 at Celtic Park in the group stages of the 2012-2013 Champions League and also won 1-0 at home in a UEFA Cup game in 2004. However, the boys were thrashed in their first Group C meeting, with Barcelona losing 7-0 at Nou Camp, with the mercurial Lionel Messi scoring a hat-trick. You've been watching News on 2 the last 30 minutes, and our top story this evening: Malaysia urges Rohingya issue to be resolved quickly. Join us again 12:30 tomorrow afternoon. Thank you for being with us. I'm Harjit Singh Hallan.